Good morning, team. I got another video here for you. Want to get us ready for overturning objections. Objections are good because that means the customer is engaging in you in your conversation and has not tuned you out. There's nothing worse than giving a great sales pitch and the customer's like, yeah, send me your information, and they never answer your call again. You just got patronized. But when you get an objection, that means that they're listening to you, they're engaged, they're thinking about what you're talking about, and now they have questions. Not all objections are bad. It's important that we take that mentality on because, in fact, objections are good. So the things I want to chat with you about today is our methodology on how to overturn objections. Like everything else, there's got to be a system to this. There's a system to our pitch. We've got the 5 steps of the conversation. There's a system to building interest and the impulse decision making. It's the 4 impulse factors, and there absolutely has to be a system on how we overturn objections. So let's talk about this. It's important that you do not butt the customer, okay? So a customer gives you an objection. Yeah, we don't work with solar companies at all. Yeah, I understand, but no, don't do that, because what happens is the customer ends up getting on the defense and you just get tuned out. And this is good in any kind of relationship, to be honest with you. Don't but people. Relate to people. Express that you hear what they've told you, and then give them a different perspective of how they can, how you can solve the problem together. So what we use is a system called Feel, Felt, Found. Understand how you feel. Many of the roofers we work with today felt the same way before they started working with us, but what they found was then you overturn the objection. Okay. So before we get into the exact objections that we're going to overturn, there's a triangle that I have here in the doc. It's called the closing triangle. So you go to ask your closing question, or you make your closing statement. All I want to do today, sir, is to just get my information in your inbox. That way, when you got a job with Rooftop Solar, you'd be ready to use us. And they say, oh, we don't work with solar companies. We send all of those jobs to the homeowners whenever they have solar. Then you overturn the objection. Completely understand what you mean. A lot of roofers we work with today, they were doing the same thing, sending jobs to the homeowners. They found that we were able to get back to those job sites a lot faster than the original install company. Then you go back to the close. So all I really wanted to do was to make sure that you had my information in your inbox. That way, when you got a job with solar on it, you'd be ready to use us. What email address should I send that to? I used to do door-to-door sales. And whenever we would go through this process, we kind of do this motion because we would assume the close whenever we asked a question, expecting to get the answer back that we asked for. So in this situation, you'd go right back to asking for that email address, or maybe you're looking for a physical address to get the insurance certificate sent to. And you almost, even though we're on the phone, you almost kind of mentally take on this position of, I'm going back to writing this down. And I'm quiet because I'm waiting for you to give me that information. So that's the closing triangle. All right, let's talk about these objections. So the first objection that they'll tell you is we don't get too many detaches. Completely understand how you feel, Mr. Roofer. Some of the roofers that we work with don't see a lot of these jobs. I can assure you that solar is increasing in popularity. You will run into one of these jobs. As long as you're working, Mr. Roofer. You're working this season, aren't you? Remember the tie down that we talked about in the 5 steps video? And then you get a soft yes. Yeah, we're working. Awesome. Look, the last guy that told this to us, he got a job the next day. That's just kind of how these things go. So all I want to do is get my information in your inbox. That way when you got a job with Rooftop Solar, you're ready to use us. What's your email address? Boom. Okay. The next objection is we let the homeowner handle solar. Completely understand how you feel, Mr. Roofer. A lot of the roofers that we work with today, before they started using us, they were doing the same thing. They found that it was a lot faster to work with a subcontractor like us because we can get our guys right on the roof, get you paid sooner. The reason it's faster is that when the homeowner calls, most times they sign up for solar, they sign up with their sales company. And the sales company, they call their salesperson sends them over to the installer. Then the installer sends them over to the service department, and before the customer knows it, there are 3 calls into trying to get this detach scheduled just to get a job scheduled 2 weeks out, including your call. That's now 4 calls. So what we do is we like to intercept that. We take care of your homeowner. We take care of you by getting you on the roof faster. We make the process easier for the homeowner, and we get you paid sooner, and we get the homeowner's roof done faster. You want that, don't you? Awesome. Well, look, all I want to do, Mr. Roofer, is get our information into your inbox. That way you have us when a job does come with rooftop solar. You just give us a call. I'm also going to send you your cert. Sound good? Okay, where should I send that email? All right. The next one is we've got a solar company that we work with. Awesome, Mr. Roofer. I'm so happy that you're working with solar company, a solar subcontractor like us. You've made the smart move because typically we can get out to the job sites a lot faster. Let me ask you, what things do you like the most about your current subcontractor? Pause. So never bash the competition. It adds credibility when you don't bash the competition, and it builds trust for you as a sales org, as a salesperson, when the customer is seeing how you respect other members in your industry. That's the first thing. B, you always want to ask what they like about their current subcontractor, because we're not bashing the competition. Last time I did this, not only did the customer answer my question and we built great rapport from it, but he actually told me the things that he didn't like about his subcontractor. And then when that happens, you're actually gaining the hot spots that you need from the roofer, so that by the time he finishes answering that question, you've pinpointed the things that are most important to them about hiring a subcontractor like us. If we said speed, quality, and pay, then you know that you're only going to talk about speed, quality, and pay when you start to address those things. So what do you like about your existing subcontractor, Mr. Roofer? Oh, I like how fast they get to the jobs, and then I like the way that they invoice us. It's quick and it's simple, and we need quick and simple in this business. Awesome. You know, we can get to a job inside of 5 to 7 days. We have a simple invoicing process. We just send you an email. You click a button. You pay it online. And we make it very, very fast for you, very, very simple for you. I love a shot to earn your business. At the very least, let's just get on your sub list so that when your current contractor is too busy to take on jobs, because I know you're going to be busy, we'd be there to help you out. Sound good? Awesome. Where should I send that to, Mr. Roofer? Boom. And then also the roofer might say, we do not touch solar at all. We don't want to touch the liability. We don't touch solar because we don't want the liability. Completely understand, Mr. Roofer, how you feel. A lot of the roofers we work with now, they were doing the same thing. They were walking away from those jobs completely before they started working with us. Here's where you educate. But what they found was not only could they, by working with us, make money on the roof, but they could also make money on the solar piece of it. What does that mean? Well, a lot of the roofers, they didn't want the liability. So we take on our own liability insurance, our own workman's compensation insurance, so that way your company is safe from any liability on a job. We've got our own policies. We add you to the insurance certificate, in fact, and I can send those over to you today. That way our crew gets on the job site. We remove the solar. You come the next day. You sit the inspection, do the roof, and then we'll put the solar back on. Now, you can win those jobs. Let's not walk away from those jobs, Mr. Roofer. I know you're crushing it right now, but let's crush it even more together. Sound good? Awesome. Look, all I want to do is get our certificates and our insurance and our information in your inbox. That way you have us when you get a job with solar, and we'll be ready to go. Where should I send that to? All right, guys, that's Overturning Objections. Get comfortable with using Feel, Felt, Found. I understand how you feel. Many of the roofers that we work with today felt the same way before they started using us. What they found was this. Don't yeah but the customer. Use the closing triangle. Make your closing statement. You get the objection. You overturn the objection. Go back to the closing statement and get what you asked for. If you do those things, you'll find yourself getting more deals, more opportunities, and I'll see you at the top.